welcome to LSB Feaster's Radio Channel and Travel Corner, where our mission in life is keeping great radio from the past alive. And today, we're going to Dallas, where there was a huge name in radio there named Gordon McClendon. If you know anything about the history of Top 40 radio, you know the name Gordon McClendon. McClendon was the owner of 1190 KLIF in Dallas, and he is considered the man who perfected the Top 40 radio format. In 1954, the days of network radio were fading away, and local stations were starting to produce more of their own programming. And McClendon introduced Top 40 to KLIF in 54 as a result of all those changes. And KLIF enjoyed ratings dominance in Dallas through the 1950s, the 1960s, into the 1970s. At one point, KLIF had more than 50% of all the radios in Dallas tuned to their radio station. Station had a tight playlist, exciting promotions and contests, and bigger-than-life DJs. Names like Jimmy Rabbit, Paxton Mills, Michael O'Shea, Rod Roddy, Cousin Lenny, Brent Miller, John London, Randy Roberts, Russ Knight, Jim O'Brien, Chuck Dunaway, Ken Knox, George Michael, Dino Day, Gary Mack, Jay Lawrence, Gary Owens, and the voice heard on this air check, the one and only Charlie Van Dyke. Van Dyke's radio resume reads like a who's who of radio stations across the country. He spent time at CKLW Detroit, KFRC San Francisco, WLS Chicago, KRTH and KHJ Los Angeles, WRKO Boston, WDGY Minneapolis. Charlie was very young when his career started. In fact, when he landed his first major market gig at KLIF, he was 19 years old. And you can tell at this age he's destined for radio greatness, and I guess TV voiceover greatness as well. I got to thank Robert Nicholson for getting this air check to me. If you like what you hear, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel too, and after you do, smack that bell. And when you do, you'll be notified every time we post a brand new air check, which is normally weekdays at 3 p.m. Maybe 4 p.m. if I'm running late. Okay, let's go back with Charlie Van Dyke at KLIF 1190 Dallas.
ABC News confirms it might replace Baba Wawa on the evening newscast and give her more interviews instead. The network also says negotiations are underway for the services of public television anchorman Robert McNeil. An ABC official denied a report in the New York Daily News, though, that Harry Reasoner is going to leave ABC and go back to CBS. But the ABC guy did confirm Barbara Walters might be replaced on the evening news. No chance of Charlie Wright being replaced on the morning sports on KLIF. Good morning, Charlie.
Why don't they bring their cameras in here? They want live, fresh, new stuff on ABC, right? In the news to beef it up. Why don't they bring their cameras in here in the morning and just show us what we're doing?
Well, you don't talk funny. You got no gimmick.
That's true.
You got to have a gimmick.
That's true. Well, here, I'll hold my nose while I do this. Did you know that that doesn't sound too good. SMU basketball coach Sonny Allen has renewed his non-contract at SMU. Many of the Rangers have gone to Pompano Beach. They've opened, they will open spring training today with a lot of high hopes. The L.A. Dodgers had to divert their flight from L.A. to Vero Beach yesterday morning, and they had to fly up to Minnesota. The entire team flew up there when their owner, Walter O'Malley, was stricken on that flight. He is in gravely serious condition today at the Mayo Clinic. And coming up at 7:45 today, for those of you who are concerned about the monster of the L.A. Lakers, I'm going to tell you what this guy's going to do. What is his name? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I almost forgot his name. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has decided what he's going to do when he quits basketball, and that could be very soon. I'm Charlie Wright, Cliff Sports Time, 7:39.
Well, that was really inspirational, Charlie. Cliffland weather looks like this. Thanks, Paul.
Fair through tomorrow, turning cooler tomorrow. High today 72, low tonight 45, high tomorrow 68, currently 40 at KLIF.
I think they're all sick. Get the rubber suits out. It's 7:39. Good morning. I'm Charlie Van Dyke. Here's another of the winners. Crystal Gale got 2 awards. I'll tell you about them. This is Loretta Lynn's Lil Sis. She's pretty with a good song on Cliff.
Don't it make my brown eyes blue?
1190 KLIF with Charlie Van Dyke in the morning crew. That's Crystal Gale, Loretta Lynn's Lil Sis. As the country song of the year in the Grammy Awards last night, Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue. That was Richard Lay wrote that one. Also, she got an award for Best Country Female Artist of the Year, 2 of them, for a pretty and talented gal. 18 before 8 o'clock with traffic report and Charlie Deaton coming up in 1 minute on Cliff. Ho, ho, ho!
Say, are you the Jolly Green Giant?
No, I'm the Jolly $1 Billion Hobo.
Oh, come on. What would a hobo do with $1 billion?
I'll tell you, I would take a lot of people to a free movie. In fact, I'll be all over the Metroplex this week, and when you see me, just say, "Hey, hobo, I want to go to the show," and I'll give you a ticket to see my new movie. Now, you can't beat that for a free ride for a lot of fun.
No, you can't.
Clear the tracks for Tim Conway in the $1 Billion Hobo. The 100 laps a minute runaway heading for theaters everywhere. It's high-speed hilarity as Tim goes tramping with a locomotive and a canine keeper. Take the whole family to see Tim Conway and Will Geer in the $1 Billion Hobo, the comedy smash of the year. Rated G, all ages admitted.
It starts today at the Northwood Hills Theater, and a free ticket to see the movie is yours when you just find the hobo. He'll be walking around the shopping complex at Spring Valley and Coit Road throughout the week. Temperature is 40, skies are clear, it's beautiful at 17 before 8 o'clock. Time to switch to the air again for a live helicopter traffic report, and Cliff's own officer Charlie Deaton. Hi again, Charlie.
Hi there. I want to spoil Charlie Wright's secret. I know what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to do, and I want to spoil it. Can I spoil it?
Well, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to spoil it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is coming to Dallas when he retires, and he's going to stand flat-footed to change the light bulbs in Reunion Tower.
Good one. Good.
Inbound South R.L. Thornton Freeway now is really backing up. It's way down past the Oak Cliff Bank, so it's going to be heavy coming in all the way into the downtown Dallas area. We can find no reason for that as the traffic moves out on the Simmons Freeway. Apparently just those potholes there around by the Reunion Plaza. Inbound East R.L. Thornton Freeway is being affected also, moving through the Mixmaster out on the Simmons Freeway. So consequently, there's going to be quite a delay of traffic coming in from the east and from the south on Thornton Freeway, moving into the Mixmaster on the Simmons Freeway, all the way out to around Jim Miller. Now that traffic on inbound East R.L. Thornton Freeway is backing up and moving very, very heavy. But we've had no problems there other than just the heavy traffic and the rough condition of the streets there. So it'll be just a delay for you coming in through the Mixmaster. Central Expressway is still running relatively smooth this morning. There's been no problems on the inbound Central Expressway, just pretty much the normal flow of traffic, Charlie.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. We'll call you back for an updated report in just a second. It's 7:45. We'll see what Brad Messer has cooking in the Cliff News Center. Brad?
Better stay away from the smoke from the police incinerator in a few weeks. They've confiscated 2.5 tons of marijuana. Dallas County authorities say a raid on a wrecking yard along Interstate 35 up by the Dallas County-Ellis County line was the biggest one they ever pulled off. They did it last night, arrested 6 people, and they say the street value of the pot is about $800,000. We'll have some details on that and a few other local and Texas stories straight up at 8 o'clock.
Thank you, Brad. I'll be giving you the Dallas-Fort Worth weather in just a second. First, I want to repeat the telephone numbers for the Shoppers League of America. I'll save you the time to call me and ask again, because a lot of folks have. Very simple deal. Shoppers League of America, you pay them $15. That's a membership fee. Covers an entire year. Gives you 2 membership cards and a Dallas-Fort Worth directory of over 1,000 stores that will automatically give you 15% off everything you buy. And it's not a gimmick. So you go ahead and you make your purchase, then you show them the card, and wham, 15% off at over 1,000 stores. That includes stuff like auto insurance and all other kinds of insurance. It can get you 5 or 6 cents per gallon off on your gasoline. Call and join them right now. It's only $15 a year. You will save hundreds for that price. In Dallas, call now. Join at 352-1731. That's 352-1731. Fort Worth, 263-3177. That's 263-3177. Coming up in 1 minute, Charlie Wright on Sports at Cliff.
The great taste of Heath. It speaks for itself.
The great taste of Heath. It speaks for itself. The great taste of Heath speaks for itself.
The great taste of Heath is speaking for itself right now, and I will attempt to translate. The great taste of Heath is saying that it is crispy, crunchy almond toffee covered with real milk chocolate, which means there are lots of great chocolate-covered crunches in every bite, with a taste that lingers long after the crunch is gone. But if you ever crunched a Heath candy bar, you already know all of this because, of course, the great taste of Heath speaks for itself and sometimes even sings.
The great taste of Heath speaks for itself.
Oh, Miss.
What?
Do you know the great taste of Heath speaks for itself?
No, but if you hum a few bars, maybe I'll be able to play it myself.
The great taste of Heath, it speaks for itself. The great taste of Heath speaks for itself.
Okay, I have a quick call here just before Charlie. Go ahead. Yeah, hello.
Are you ready to be blasted?
Ready to be blasted?
Ready to be blasted.
Okay, sure. What's your first name?
Tom.
Okay, Tom, let's have it.
Okay. When he said that this is a Texas fan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When he said McKeitchen was a Cinderella quarterback.
Now, I didn't say this, first of all.
He.
Charlie, you mean?
When Charlie said
the other Charlie, right?
Okay. Did Charlie know that Fred Akers recruited McKeitchen when he was the assistant coach of Texas?
Should have known.
Should have known.
Let's ask him.
Okay.
Sure, I knew that. So what is that? Well, so what?
Well, I don't know either. He just seemed adamant about it.
Listen, McKeitchen was a senior who had thrown the ball about 3 times in 4 years. That's how much they thought of him. He was the fourth quarterback on the team, and the first 3, 1 in spring training and then 2 in the Oklahoma game, were injured. McKeitchen was pressed into service. Otherwise, he wouldn't have seen it down all year long.
Well,
he was definitely the center.
Don't get mad at me.
Come
I
on,
don't
Tom.
care.
Tom, well, Tom is right about the recruiting, but so what?
Oh,
so what?
748 at Cliff.
He definitely was Cinderella, and I think he was one of the big reasons. He played up to his old form, not his Cinderella form, in the Cotton Bowl, and Texas could not get on track.
Right raves on now on Cliff.
Hey, listen, we have a letter here, a delightful letter from a listener, Judy Matthews, and it's addressed to Chantal and Charlie Wright. And I don't mean to make fun because
I like you too, Judy. Where's my name?
No, listen, it's a delightful letter, and she says, I must say ever since you and Charlie, this is to Chantal, I must say ever since you and Charlie came to Dallas, you both made my day, etc. And she says some very nice things, but she spells her name S-H-A-U-N, first name, Sean, last name T-A-L-L, Tall, Sean Tall.
Well, anyone who's looked at Dallas Nude knows that's not right.
People don't read books like that in this city.
Oh, pardon me.
Come on. Did you know that SMU basketball coach Sonny Allen is coaching with only a verbal contract, a handshake agreement? In this day of contracts and court cases in sports, that is some sort of high watermark. Sonny's handshake has been renewed by SMU Athletic Director Dick Davis, and as Temple Pouncey points out today in the Morning News, Dallas, right. Sonny Allen has a gargantuan recruiting job to do. Many of the Rangers have gone to Pompano Beach. A lot of new talent on the ball club and a lot of high hopes for the 78 season. KLIF Sports will be at the Rangers spring training camp for a week in March to size up Billy Hunter's crop, CROP, and our chances for an American League pennant this year. The LA Dodgers took off from Los Angeles International Airport yesterday morning. Many members of the team on that plane, the owner, Walter O'Malley, the trainers, the media men, the works, heading for spring training in Vero Beach, Florida. At some point on that flight, O'Malley was stricken, and the plane, the Dodgers' private jetliner, was diverted to Minnesota, where Walter O'Malley was rushed to the Mayo Clinic. He is there this morning in serious condition. The team went on to Vero Beach without him. Several college basketball teams went into games last night afraid they might be upset, in games they had to win, and 3 of them were upset. New Mexico suffered its first loss in the conference. Number 5 team in the nation edged by Utah 95-92. North Carolina had 3 starters on the bench and lost to North Carolina State by 5 points. Minnesota, which was tied for the Big Ten lead, Minnesota, the team NBC calls a national power. Minnesota lost to little old Ohio State, which is no kind of power at all, 94-87 in overtime. That gives Michigan State a 1-game lead in the Big Ten. The Michigan State Spartans beat Northwestern thanks to star freshman Irvin Johnson.
It feels good every time when you're in first place. And the boys from Ohio State, I can pat them on the back right now. And I just hope we can just stay there until we get to Minneapolis and play them down there.
That's Irvin Johnson, and he's the guy I think is going to take Michigan State into the Big Ten championship, and they are one of the Cinderella teams along with the DePaul. UCLA's only challenger in the Pac-8 conference is Oregon State. A lot of folks thought that UCLA-Oregon State game would be tough, but the flu racked the Beavers, and the Bruins won easily by 38 points. That's what they call them, Charlie, the Oregon State Beavers.
I just can't help grinning. By the way, I'm just sitting here waiting. I've got a hot sports story whenever you're through. Go ahead.
Sure. That gives the Bruins their 12th straight Pac-8 championship. Do you have a gossipy type?
I've got the one.
Over the back fence scoop.
Now, this is why I asked Chantal to step into your booth.
If anybody in town can scoop me,
that's right.
It'll be you.
Okay, I think I have one this time.
All right, lay it on me.
The reason, can you hear me shouting? The reason I wanted her in there, first of all, is that the incident occurred at a place called Mona's nails. Supposed to be a well-known thing.
Yeah, it is.
And I wanted you to tell me, first of all, that that's really a place and that it's famous, and what do they do there?
It really is a place. It's very well known, and it's. Have you noticed on women these days the very long nails that
Kind
they
of
have?
sculptured, yeah.
They look as close to real as possible, but they really don't.
Okay, now, so you have confirmed that there is such a place.
Definitely.
Very well known. All right. Well, my spy yesterday was in Mona's, and present in that exact place was a Dallas cowboy, having his nails done, and having his eyelashes fluffed.
What does he do in his spare time?
Now,
There's got to be a reason.
name that Dallas cowboy, Charlie.
Name that cowboy.
That's
Make
right.
sure it's not a big one, Charlie.
They're all big, aren't they?
Having his eyelashes fluffed.
Well, listen.
At Mona's.
The only one I know that I would even think might do something like that.
Now, wait a minute. You understand how anxious I am. Before you give me that
He's liable to punch me.
Because I know who it is, and I'm anxious to have one on you. So go ahead and tell me what you think.
I mean, if I didn't already know
If
who
you
it
get
was.
well, you don't know. I didn't tell you.
No, I would say Thomas Henderson, you see, because he's a hot dog and he would do that for fun. But no reflections, Tommy boy. I love
No
you.
reflections, Tom, no.
So it's not Thomas Henderson, right?
Yes, it was.
Really?
Yes, it was.
Really?
Darn it. It really was. It was. So much for my scoop.
Hot dog of the month.
I'm Charlie Van Dyke. Clip Sports Time.
Are you kidding?
No, it was Hollywood Henderson was in there yesterday having his eyebrows fluffed.
Hollywood, I didn't mean a thing. Listen, I want to get out of this as quickly as I can. Brad Messer, are you listening to this? I have learned what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wants to do, or wants to be, when he ends his basketball career. Kareem wants to be an investigative news reporter. If you can see a 7'3" black man with thick glasses trying to be inconspicuous as an investigative reporter. However, if he wants to be an investigative reporter, he can be. Who's going to stop him? Kareem has high aspirations. Come to think of it, he has high everything. I'm Charlie Wright, Cliff Sports Time, 6 minutes till 8.
Anne Bancroft and Shirley MacLaine in The Turning Point. A story of choices, security or stardom, success or love. If you've ever had to give up something or someone, ever felt envy or regret and wanted to be somebody else, you know what it means to reach the turning point. The one choice that can change your life forever. The Turning Point. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
Nominated for 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, now showing at the 7th Street Theater and Cinema 4.
KLIF at 7:54. I'm Charlie Van Dyke, switching for another live report to the KLIF helicopter and Officer Charlie Beaton high in the skies.
Fire and police officials en route to northbound Simmons at LBJ reported a major accident there. We're over the interchange now, Charlie, but we don't see it. Apparently, if there's one here, it's either been removed or it's a bad call. Northbound Simmons is moving free. There's no problems as far as accidents are concerned that we see. On the southbound side, though, it's a little bit different. We still have that big backup of traffic there caused by those potholes on the southbound side. I'm going to get a repeater, and we won't have to go through this every time. It'll just repeat itself. It'll be backed up now just about to Royal Lane, southbound on Simmons down to 180 or down to Regal Row. Inbound on 183, we have a hole that's developed in the center lane, just approaching the Trinity River Bridge now. That's slowing that traffic down on inbound 183. So if you're there, you might want to avoid that center lane. There's quite a pothole there, just as you enter the Trinity River Bridge. It's stacking things up around by Texas Stadium. I'm Officer Charlie Deaton in the KLIF helicopter.
Thank you, Charlie. Dallas-Fort Worth weather will be fair through tomorrow and then turning cooler tomorrow. Today's high 72, overnight low 45, tomorrow's high 68. Temperature is 40, skies are clear at Cliff.
Nobody demands more from a Datsun than Datsun.
It took Datsun to build it. The transistorized, synchronized, perfectly sized new 510 hatchback. It's bigger than the small cars, smaller than the big cars. Big in room with a rear hatch and fold-down rear seat. Big in features like transistorized ignition, power front disc brakes, reclining buckets, even side window defoggers. Yet the new 510 hatchback is small where it counts. In handling, with a 5-speed stick, new 4-link rear suspension, and a price that saves. The racy new 510 hatchback. It's Datsun, driven to its all-around best.
Nobody demands more from a Datsun than Datsun. We are driven.
Come see the all-new Datsun 510 at your nearby Datsun dealer now.
1190 KLIF, 4 minutes till 8 o'clock. Charlie Van Dyke with the morning crew. If you were watching Saturday Night Live last week, you saw this one. From the Stranger album, Billy Joel. Only the good die young. So listen up, it's good on KLIF. KLIF is 1190 KLIF Dallas. It's 8 o'clock. I'm Charlie Van Dyke. Good morning. It's Getaway Day. This is the morning show for Friday, February 24th. For Dallas-Fort Worth today, fair through tomorrow, turning a little cooler tomorrow. Today's high 72. Overnight low 45. Tomorrow's high 68. It's 40 degrees and clear skies now. Chantal has the entertainment report just after 8 o'clock. We'll continue with live helicopter traffic reports and Officer Charlie Beaton. Charlie Wright has a look at sports. And now at 8 o'clock, the new KLIF News continues with Brad Messer and Cheryl Frisky.
Our blue eyes are staring into the blue skies of what apparently is going to be the first really nice spring-like warm weather weekend in Texas this year. The temperature to get up into the low 70s today and at least the high 60s tomorrow. Cabin fever giving way to spring fever. There has been a major marijuana raid in Dallas County. Several people arrested with 2.5 tons of marijuana. And if you were depending on any other radio station's traffic reports this morning, you probably would be prepared for a wreck on the southbound Stemmons Freeway, which isn't there. Only from the scene in the KLIF chopper, you're going to get the right information on that major accident's true location. Here's Officer Charlie Deaton.
Well, it is there, Brad. If you're traveling westbound on LBJ now, just on the turn to southbound Stemmons Freeway, a pickup truck has just struck the guardrail there, and he's heading crossways into the left lane, and looks like he's going to need a wrecker, so it'll be some time before they get that removed. It'll cause a problem for you if you're westbound on LBJ traveling southbound onto Stemmons Freeway, just as you make the turn around through the Mixmaster. I'm Officer Charlie Deaton in the KLIF helicopter.
Currently 40 degrees at KLIF.
Thank you, Brad and Cheryl. It's 8 after 8. I'm Charlie Van Dyke, still jumping through a list of some of the Grammy winners. Another surprise was the Eagles. They won Record of the Year for this one. Hotel California got past You Light Up My Life. Don Henley of the Eagles said they didn't expect to win. They thought the competition was going to be too tough. Eagles also won a Grammy for their arrangement of The New Kid in Town, which took the award for Best Arrangement for Voices. This is the title cut off the Amazing Eagles album. Hotel California at 8:09. It's worth an award to me. I like that too. 1190 KLIF with the title cut off the Hotel California album and the Eagles. I'm Charlie Van Dyke. This is the morning show on Friday. In case, yep, that's right. You've made it all the way through another week, and it's so pretty. I was going to ask Chantal, when do they start having the paddle boats available again out at Bachman Lake?
I don't know. I'll have to check on that for you.
Yeah, that would be it. This is a beautiful day to do it, just about right.
It's wonderful.
Oh, I'll tell you a thing I saw the other day that I loved. This sounds strange, but I love to go feed the ducks.
No, that doesn't sound strange.
There are two places that I knew of. One is down on Hillcrest, down on Caruth Park or someplace like that it's called. And the other, of course, was Turtle Creek. There's at Walnut Hill and Central Expressway by what used to be Glen Lakes Country Club, I think. I saw a bunch of little kids out there with the neatest little ducks, all walking around out there. One of them was down by the curb, biting tires. It was a cute little thing.
And they're not just little yellow fuzzy ducks. These are brown ducks, the mallard type looking ducks. I want to know something.
What?
Have you really seen Willard the killer kangaroo box?
Oh, I tell you what. Let me do a couple things I will tell you about Willard the kangaroo. I will also tell you this. I'll give you a little hint. This may embarrass a well-known Dallas physician, because one of his nurses called my office and gave me some information that has to do with you. I'll have that and more, plus live helicopter traffic in just a moment.
Stone City Attractions would like to announce their upcoming shows. This Sunday night, see Gary Wright. The Dreamweaver, Gary Wright, plus the high energy of Pat Travers this Sunday night, 8 p.m. in the Will Rogers Auditorium. Tickets available at Amusement Ticket Service, Sound Warehouse. Gary Wright. And March 17th, Foghat at the Tarrant County Convention Center. Stone City and Foghat thank you for the advanced sellout. Coming to the Metroplex, March 21st. Santana.
8:15 now at KLIF. We'll check with Officer Charlie Deaton and see how the traffic is going this morning. Charlie?
Well, they announce the prevention's worth a pound a cure if you're coming in on 183, and you normally take that left lane on 183. That's a mandatory exit on the Old Story Road coming in by the old Tom Hill Circle over to Harry Hines. A lot of people have been taking the left lane up to the exit ramp, then cut back into traffic to avoid some of the congestion. Well, if you do that this morning, there's 3 Irving motorcycle officers there that'll greet you with a smile and some green stamps. So if you're going to come in on 183, stay out of that left lane.
You're a traitor to your own kind, Deaton.
No, I just announced the prevention's worth a pound a cure. And if you're not listening to KLIF, you'll get a ticket.
That's a way to make them listen.
If you come on in on 183 and you hit that Trinity River Bridge in the center lane, there's a great big hole there in that center lane. It's big enough to damage your car, so it's causing quite a backup there. A lot of people having trouble getting across that. So either get in the right lane or the left lane coming across that bridge there. That's a great big old hole there, and it could damage a wheel, or you might lose your whole car. You may end up down in the river bottoms there on that thing. It's a great big old hole. Also traveling westbound to LBJ onto southbound Simmons Freeway. Right on the curve there in the interchange, there's a pickup truck that's hit the center guardrail. He's sitting crossways in the left lane now. It's going to hamper your travels coming around there, so you may want to avoid the left lane. Still quite a bit of congestion traveling around westbound on LBJ to southbound Simmons Freeway because of that accident and the potholes. Also, the Dallas North Parkway and Alpha Road, there's a major accident reported in the intersection. And traveling northbound on Central Expressway, if you're taking the Forest Lane exit ramp, those lights there are malfunctioning, causing the traffic to back up onto northbound Central Expressway, causing quite a backup of traffic in the right lane traveling north on Central Expressway. So you may want to get over in the left lane for your travels up Central Expressway. I'm Officer Charlie Deaton in the KLIF helicopter.
Thank you, Charlie. 17 after 8 o'clock. We'll see what Brad Messer has coming up on the New Cliff News at 8:30. Brad?
We're, of course, going to do a live ABC newscast on the half hour, so that'll cover us up on the coal strike and the national, international stuff. What we have going on here in Texas is that last night, other than the heavy important stuff, last night about 6,000 trail riders camped in Memorial Park in Houston because all the trail rides for the livestock show and rodeo have concluded from 11 locations. And there's a story here from United Press International. This is a story that people are reading nationwide about what's happening in Houston. It says some 6,000 trail riders camped in the city's Memorial Park last night in preparation for the street clogging event associated with the 46th Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Thousands of animals and cowboys will be judged in competition. I don't know what kind of a mental picture
I didn't know those cowboys were bringing their wives. I guess so.
Live cutaway to ABC on the half hour at 8:30 on Cliff, Charlie.
Okay, in 1 minute, Chantal has the entertainment report and a little chit-chat.
You ought to do it now. What are you waiting for? You ought to do it now. What are you waiting for?
Nautilus Fitness Centers will help you look and feel great. Call 341-3560. We'll help you trim, tone, and firm your body. Do it at Nautilus and start feeling terrific.
You ought to do it now. What are you waiting for?
Do it now. Call Nautilus 341-3560.
Hey, baby. Titus, just want you to know.
You'll love the new T-tops and bloussons at Tyches. They're softer, more feminine, prettier than ever. Trimmed with trapunto quilting and liquid embroidery. A colorful raised printing that looks just like real embroidery. From organically grown in soft pastels, sizes small, medium, and large. Just $10 to $17. In the junior shop at all 9 Tyches.
Baby, it's you.
Tyches Junior Shop.
19 after 8 o'clock, I'm Charlie Van Dyke. Now, again, we would like to say good morning to Chantal.
Good
How are
morning,
you?
Bright Eyes.
Hi. I don't want to embarrass anyone, and it certainly isn't this person's personal conversation to me or anything, but Dr. Michael Highbaugh is a listener of the program in the morning. He's a nice doctor guy.
Good morning, Michael.
One of the nurses at his office called yesterday and told me that he really thinks you're hot stuff, and was jokingly mentioning that he'd had a contest and you win a free chest x-ray.
Oh, how kind. Oh, very kind of him.
Maybe you'd like to drop by later on.
You're going to pray that I have asthma?
That's right.
You have to double check.
That's neat. Anyway, so much for that gossip stuff. You were mentioning, what's his name?
Willard the Killer.
Willard the Killer. Yes. Now, Willard's coming to Dallas, isn't he, at the convention center?
Yes, he is, yes. It's going to be one of our first sports events. We'll have to ask Charlie Wright about that.
What paper did you get this out of?
The Dallas Morning News.
A picture of Killer Willard, world's champion boxing kangaroo. I have not seen Willard. I saw his picture last summer. I had occasion to be in Australia on some business junk and got to see some of them. They're very dangerous.
They're terribly dangerous. Kangaroos pack one heck of a wallop. I've always wanted to establish, now I realize he is still with us, but I am a great fan of animals, and I've always wanted to establish an animal hall of fame. Charlie, do you remember Frazier the lion?
Yes.
Who sired about 109 cubs, and we had T-shirts that said "Attaboy Frazier."
And died with a grin on his face.
Yeah. And do you remember Victor? The giraffe who passed away making love.
Yeah, but that's right.
And Pilgrim the whale.
They actually passed away before he made love, which was tragic.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, if you have to go, that's the way to go.
He died trying.
Yes, that says something for
Yes.
it. And Pilgrim, the wonderful whale.
Oh, I forgot about Pilgrim, yeah.
Yes, and Meatball, who was the courageous dog hero of the year.
There was a cute thing. As part of the reason that I was in Australia was part of a bicentennial salute for the Australian government. Invited several broadcasters over.
Yes.
We brought back, and they're now in the San Diego Zoo, 6 koalas.
Oh, yes.
Who, they, by the way, have breath that will cripple. I don't know if you know this, but
I didn't know that. I haven't been close enough, but they're so cute.
They eat eucalyptus leaves, and then, it's terrible. But we brought back 6. There were actually 7, because one of them had one in the pocket. And it was absolutely precious.
Do they carry them in the pocket like the kangaroos do?
That's right.
I didn't know.
They're not actually koala bears. They are marsupials. So much for that. There's stuff going on in town. You know about
There are, and I have to say this, diamonds are not only a girl's best friend, but also the center of attention when the spectacular $4 million collection of rare diamonds goes on display this Monday at North Park. Can you imagine, Charlie, a 34.5 carat emerald cut pink diamond?
34.5?
You bet. It's bigger even than Elizabeth Taylor's diamond. A 24-carat diamond belonging to the Louvre Museum in Paris will also be on display, and this all is taking place at Corrigan's beginning Monday. That is something spectacular if you can get by to see
Corrigan's is a dangerous place. They also have a collection of Lalique. That is my lust for desire.
Lalique crystal, mine too.
Mm-hmm.
As for your weekend, a couple of last chances to see some of the entertainment now in Dallas. Las Vegas, which was held over here for a very long time, moves on from the stage of Granny's this weekend. Boots Randolph comes in next, by the way. He opens Tuesday. Peggy Lauren closes her stint at the Playboy Club. Sammy Kahn will be with us at the Venetian Room through March 4th. Paul Ray and the Cobras at Faces through Saturday. Bee's Knees come in there Tuesday. Floyd Kramer continues at the Windmill Dinner Theater tonight through Saturday. Sunday and Monday.
By the way, does Floyd know that I'm coming to watch
him tonight? He does know, and he expects you to sit right down there on the corner and request that song.
I'm going to ask him to play 2. I'm going to ask him to play On the Rebound and Flip, Flop, and Bop.
Flip, Flop, and Bop. I think you made that up personally, Charlie.
No, that is a boogie-woogie piano thing.
But I won't say it on the air because I respect you.
I've heard other people, if you're a boogie-woogie piano freak, you know what that song is, and nobody plays it like Floyd do.
I go back to Kitty Callan-type songs, like Little Things
Color my coloring book.
Sunday and Monday, James Brown at the Windmill Dinner Theater. That's who I'd like to see. And Gordon Lightfoot is at the Tarrant County Convention Center tonight. And this is something special this weekend for those of you who are a little daring, a lot crazy, and have always wanted to get high. How does a ride in a World War II PT-19 open cockpit plane sound?
Sick.
How about a 1942 Stearman biplane?
Oh, that's better.
For $10, you can take a 15-minute ride in either one of these. There's a place.
That's neat.
It's called Aero Country, and it's out just, let me see where, it's difficult to describe, but I'll try. It's located near Frisco, and to get there, you travel about 20 miles north of Dallas on Preston Road, and 4 miles north of Frisco, you'll see a highway rest stop, and you turn right onto an unmarked, I'm not kidding, dirt road.
Oh.
The official name here is Rock Hill, and the airport is just on Rock Hill.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. In addition to the rides, this airport trains pilots and teaches you to skydive. It's a wonderful thing to do for a weekend, so...
The advertising might help them.
Yes.
That's neat.
If you've always wanted to be up there, as it were, then try. This is Chantal. This is the Entertainment Report, and we're 1190 KLIF.
Thank you, Chantal. It's 24 after 8. Coming up, Charlie Wright with sports.
Red gun. Working a herd on the open range is a job and a half. It's big country and a big job, and you just naturally get a taste for things that are big and bold. That's why Big Red's the gum I like to chew. Big Red's got a big, bold taste, and the taste of Big Red really makes my mouth come alive. Truth is, I never come across a brand of gum with a taste that's satisfying. Big Red, mighty good chewing. Chew the gum called Big Red, with a bold, clean bite, and the big, strong flavor that's bound to hit you right. Big Red. Chew the gum called Big Red, that's apart from the rest, that captures the spirit of the big Wild West. Big Red. Make Big Red your brand.
KLIF KLIF at 8:25. Switching live to the helicopter for another report from Officer Charlie Deaton. Now, Charlie?
Well, you'll find things clearing up around LBJ and Simmons Freeway. That accident on the southbound side in the left lane has been removed. You won't find the backup till you get down around Walnut Hill. It'll be heavy from Walnut Hill down to Story Road there because of the potholes, but it's starting to clear out a little bit, Charlie. West and eastbound LBJ now running very smooth with no problems. And Central Expressway, we just traveled the entire length of Central. No problems all the way into town. You'll have some heavy traffic around Loop 12 down to about Mockingbird, but things are running along very nicely there. I'm Officer Charlie Deaton in the KLIF helicopter.
Listen to Barry Manilow's newest. Newest album, even now available on Arista Records, and Sanger Harris has the album for only $4.99. Get Barry Manilow's newest album, which includes his new hit single, Can't Smile Without You. Available in all Sanger Harris record departments for only $4.99.
Temperatures 40, skies are clear. It's a beautiful getaway day. It's 27 after 8 now at KLIF, and Charlie Wright joins us with a look at sports. Good morning again, Charlie.
Boxing kangaroos.
Well, yes, that's true.
And chest x-rays.
It's kind of gone downhill, hasn't it? Well, it's Friday. I've got an excuse.
One of those koala bears you brought back, I think, is loose. Somebody has a koala bear sitting right here.
I think
in front of me.
Someone's good luck charm.
In the newsroom here. Only it's filled with sand.
Do we have any...
Yes?
Any late news out of the Mayo Clinic at all?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I called up there just a few minutes ago. Walter O'Malley is now officially listed in satisfactory condition at the hospital in Rochester, Minnesota. He's 74 years old, chairman of the board of the L.A. Dodgers. He was admitted yesterday, and the plane was diverted on the flight down to Vero. Now, I have some friends in L.A. who are close to the Dodgers who tell me that it's more serious than this. But the official listing today is satisfactory. A 16-year-old boxer in the Golden Gloves Championships in Memphis collapsed in the ring last night and died while doctors were trying to revive him. Michael Flynn, in the final round of a 3-rounder, his arms just dropped to his sides and he fell over backwards. Cause of death, cardiac arrest. Some things in life never seem to change. Death, taxes, and UCLA winning the Pacific 8 Conference basketball crown. Bruins did it again last night. That's 12 in a row, and 15 out of the last 16 years. The only year they lost the Pac-8 Conference and didn't go to the NCAAs was back in 1965-66, and you'll remember that was the season that Lou Alcindor, then was Lou Alcindor, and Lucius Allen, Mike Warren, Lynn Shackelford, they were all freshmen on that big team that went on to be such a big team. New Mexico University was on the brink of being the first team ever to go through the Western...